Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Peaky Blinders. This episode 1 of season 5. Hopefully guys are excited for today's episode. And my god, mate, season 4 was really good. The Italians come, you know, the Changrettas. He was trying to avenge the death of his father Luca. That's what he was trying to do. Obviously Tommy captured his dad because Grace was killed and they want his revenge. Now, Tommy actually didn't pull the trigger, but Arthur done it for him, didn't he? Tommy was struggling at the time in season 3. He had him tied up to the chair. He's like, I'm going to cut your ear off. I'm going to cut your tongue off, you know, bit by bit. And then Tommy walked off and he's like, come on, Tommy. Come on, Tommy. And he couldn't do it. And then, boom, mate, you know, Arthur just pulled that trigger and killed him. And they come after, obviously, the Blinders. They ended up shooting Michael and killing John. R.I.P., mate. Can't believe John has gone. Now, again, very interesting decision to do that, and I'm excited to see obviously how we go into this season, because last season it was kind of like avenging John. Arthur wanted to pull the trigger, which he actually done at the end. Now Tommy very cleverly managed to get one up on the Changrettas when it looked like he was down in the dumps and he had lost everything, and what he'd done is he called bigger people than obviously Luca in New York who cut a deal with him. Basically anybody, any guards can be bought, and Luca's posse behind him are obviously on a payroll, and Tommy's rang up, said, Changrettas here, I could take him out if you do this. They were saying that's fine, paid off all his men, left him on his own for Arthur to come in after it looked like he was killed by the Italians, and he went for a whole funeral and everything trying to convince us to, boom, mate, pull that trigger and actually kill Luca. So I thought it was very good, honestly. It was really good. Now, an interesting thing is, yeah, it was Polly who cut a deal with Luca earlier on in the season to try and hand Tommy over, but Tommy was in on it. Now, obviously, Luca come and he threatened to kill Michael, and Michael didn't actually tell Tommy that this deal had actually took place. So at the end of the season, you know, Tommy kind of kicked Michael out of the family. Not really kicked him out, but he sent him away to New York or Boston or whatever. He was like, look, here's a train, go, move to America, we're expanding. You knew that the Changrettas was going to come after me and going to kill me, and you didn't even say anything. So I don't know, man. His mum stitched him up, so I'm interested to see if he's in the season at all. The other thing that I thought was pretty fascinating, to be honest, is Jesse Eden, Tommy kind of wormed his way in. He started, like, not really, I don't even know, would you call it relationship? They started to have sex anyway, and he kind of broke her walls down. She kind of gave him some contacts and some names, and Tommy's rang in and he's done his business and done what Tommy does, and he started to run for an MP. His name was on the Birmingham sheet. They was all ticking it, boom. Tommy won with like 40,000 votes and everybody else had like 1,000. So that means that now, if I can remember, Tommy is the leader of the Labour Party, which is crazy, mate. It's gonna be sick this season. I'm very interested to find out what he has planned for the expansion of his company. So thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode. Look at that phone box there in the middle of nowhere. It's like Tommy, season 1, episode 1.
We have never even heard of your people.
We've never even heard of your people.
Pride of your threats, and I've signed it. The Angels of Retribution.
They say they haven't even heard of us. So tell Abraham and Isaiah to introduce themselves.
I wonder if Abraham is like hardcore part of him now. Shelby Company, Detroit, USA, mate. So it's gonna be Michael.
Wait, say that again. No, that cannot be possible.
What's happening? Monte Carlo. Oh, is that their kid?
Look, Ruby, Daddy's back from his call.
Oh, wow, we've proper jumped, haven't we? Oh, what's this? Limehouse, London. Oh, let's go for it first. Now we're back in the US. Oh, fucking hell, mate. No way she in this now. She's a good actress here, man. I like her.
Hello. Arthur, where's Tommy?
Yo, it started kind of like intense. I don't really know what's going on, not gonna lie though.
Just get to him and tell him that we've lost a lot. Right, come on, get changed.
Jesus Christ!
Bring the car out.
If you're going to England, I'm coming with you.
No.
I love you. You love me.
Yo, it started off well chaotic, like I haven't had time to pause it. See what I mean? Yo, you shooting at them, man? Oh, Finn's been grazed. Through the wall, mate. Let me say, that was a good start, mate. That was a good start. Now, last season, there was a bit more intense start, i.e., was it the noose? That episode, was that the episode that John got shot in as well? It was crazy anyway, that episode, because right at the very start, we was like, mate, what is happening to John? What's happening to Polly, Arthur, and Michael? And straight away, they was whipped out the cells, weren't they? They was taken down, ropes around the neck, it was pulled, they was saying the prayers, and then he was saved last second by Tommy. But this season, it was different. It was a longer segment. It wasn't as intense as in, like, mate, is somebody going to die? It's like, mate, we jumped from Birmingham to was it Boston? I forgot now. And then went to Monte Carlo, and then boom, mate, we went to London and then back to Birmingham. It's crazy, honestly. I really, really enjoyed it. This cast is just expanding. Like, has it finished? I feel like the show's finished after Netflix have only got season 5. I'm sure there's a season 6, so I'll get it off the BBC. But I'm pretty wounded that it's finished, to be honest, because, like, yeah, I know that we had Tom Hardy in last season, which is a massive character, and obviously he's gone. But, like, you know, getting her in as well as Michael's girlfriend now, that's a big pull in. I'm hoping that she stays in it because I think she's a great actress. And I think that, again, I always say I want the women to step up and have, like, a bigger part in the show. Obviously, maybe in 1929, females obviously probably don't play as much part in society as the men do, just as the way the times were. Now, obviously, hopefully, it should be like evens, and I would love to see a lot more of the females kind of like have a stance that Polly does, kind of like bigger part in the company, a lot to play for. So hopefully, she's going to be a crazy one because she's great. And I like Abraham as well. You know, he's a fantastic actor, and I hope he actually stays in it with the absence of Alfie. I hope he comes in, picks it up, steps up, has more of a role, because obviously we've lost John as well. So I feel like we do need more people, and they've recruited some good ones. So I'm excited, mate, for this season so far. Anyway, after this first episode, well, introduction.
Just fucking get the thing out of me and sew me up. Just do it.
I once took a bullet from between 2 ribs, 1 inch from the heart. Mind you, it was a horse. The horse did die. Hold him, hold him. There you go. It's just a little one.
What the fuck is going on?
Hello, Ada.
Get out, both of you.
You've got a precious young life.
Finn, you fucking idiot. 3 inches to the left and that would have been gone.
You've got nothing to prove, Finn. You have got nothing to prove.
Where's Charles?
He's in the wagon. He won't come out. He heard Johnny talking Rocker. He understands more gypsy than we think.
Charles, come here.
Your horse was sick. He was in pain. The vet couldn't do anything. Even Curly couldn't do anything. I put him to sleep. It's what you do.
No, it's what you do. Shoot horses, shoot people. Everybody says.
Dangerous, my beautiful horse.
Oh, it's dangerous.
Too wild to race. Wouldn't take the reins of the whip. Should have been a war horse.
Mate, it's ruthless, isn't it, though? It is ruthless. Yo, look at that fall, mate. I've never seen that before. That's pretty good. We've lost Pure Dough on the stock exchange.
I told Michael on Friday this was going to happen.
Said he was advised by the broker that the prices would rebound. Everybody was told the same thing.
Charlie, come out here now.
Yeah, he's gonna
Never
make
listens, Lizzie.
his stance.
What do I have to do to make people fucking listen to me? Lizzie, you have the driver come back tomorrow.
And Arthur, tell my boy that sometimes death is a kindness.
Death is a fucking kindness, mate, for some people. Like, these people, yeah, that go around and murder young people. Like, for example, American school shootings. Death is too fucking kind for them people. They deserve to be shot 50 times and then kept alive. And then they deserve to go to prison, and then everybody do their little bit on them in there, because those innocent kids, yeah, didn't deserve anything that they got. Death is too kind for those. Like the person that come and bombed the Manchester bombings, yeah? How can you go and fucking bomb an Ariana Grande concert, bunch of little kids? You know what I mean? Death is too kind for that guy. I agree with it, me. Literally, I do agree with him. All these people that do crazy stuff and take innocent lives, and then they get shot by police or go out by themselves, it is too kind. They deserve they deserve hell for the rest of their lives. So I like what he's just said there. It was really good stuff. And what have they lost, mate? How much have they lost? Now, Michael held on, but the fact is, yeah, if he's held on, it's still running. For example, Bitcoin could be 50 grand, yeah, and there's going to be a dip and it's going to drop to 20. You're going to lose pure dough, innit, mate? 30k like that, gone. You could be like, oh, fucking hell, mate, just lost million. But the fact is, you haven't sold, you still got the 20, and then in 4 months' time, it could be back up to 50. So he's never said that he sold. It could still be running. They could have lost millions, but then maybe 5 months' time, it could be back to where it is. You know, you got to buy in a dip and hope it gets to the high. So I'm going to be interested to see how they react when Michael gets back. What's he drinking again? It's the second time he's had one of these.
What am I, a genie? You summoned me up with your little bottle of dope.
All this time.
I know. Our love still remains.
I was going to say, the good positive thing about this is it shows how much you actually cared for her.
The voices that you hear.
Imagine having so much going on in your head. You don't realise he must have so much thoughts and everything. Linda's on the snow, mate.
I'm the fucking doorman, Linda. And you ain't coming in here tonight, love, dressed like that. I know I am, and I'm all right with it. I need you to be all right with it.
The thing is, yeah, is she knew about his life when she got into him.
You think we can fuck? And it'll be okay, and I'll be quiet. Well, I won't. Every week your brother's down in London making out he's fucking Robin Hood, champion of the people, while you're up here running the racket for him.
Mr. Shelby, the meeting will be starting soon.
Yeah, all right. They're nice. Let's begin. Yesterday, as you all know, there was a terrible disaster. We wasn't the only ones hurt by this.
Mr. Chairman, perhaps while we wait for Thomas, I might lighten the gloom and express what a pleasure it is to be in a boardroom that has so many females in it.
I was just explaining to everyone, Tom, that well, we're fucked. Ain't that right?
It is true that a large proportion of the company's funds invested in American stocks and shares.
Invested or hidden?
All investments are approved by the board, Linda.
That is true.
That went through the books.
Linda, after this meeting, and there will be another meeting with the family. As non-executive director of the company, I need permission from the chairman to present my strategy to the board.
Permission granted, Tom.
It's still Tommy's company, isn't it?
How far can we go, Mr. Shelby, with this beautiful dream?
All the way, brother, all the way.
Revolution, man!
You're reading in the newspapers. I want to hear singing and laughing. Fuck the stock market. They backed the wrong horses, so fucking what, eh?
Family meeting. First item, this.
Took out of our Finn's arm yesterday by Aberama Gold using your gin and a razor blade.
What's in Chinatown, Tommy? What the fuck is going on?
He said they were sent to Chinatown to kill somebody.
That kid needs educating, Tom, he really does.
The police felt the same way about this pimp as we did. He wasn't worth the trial. The coppers cleared the streets for us.
It's a particular opportunity. It's not to be repeated.
And it was the right thing to do.
Fucking right.
Lizzie, you need to understand the corridors of Westminster are very dimly lit. And for those who make the rules, there are no rules. In the meantime...
Just business as fucking usual.
In the meantime, it is fortunate that we've maintained other sources of cash income. Because until the stock market recovers, cash is king. And cash we have.
No one is going to hang you, Tommy. You're going to hang yourself.
Ada.
She's pregnant. Polly, you need to reassure Ada that it's 1929, times have changed. No one gives a fuck who the father is.
I already know who the father is.
Now Tom wants to know.
We've had enough shocks for one day.
What is it? Bad news? Angels of retribution.
Burn the letter they sent.
Hold from our brother, eh? Barney took a first bullet. Where are you going, brother?
Hey, the House of Commons.
Member for Epping asks, following the crash, trade union members be more flexible when carrying out their duty. He's really asking is that the working man carry the can. I would suggest that those who so recklessly lost their fortunes learn to shine their own shoes, carry their own can.
Mr. Shelby, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed your speech. My name's Mosley. You've come to my attention.
He just walked off, not even asked.
My wife and I have had a misfortune on the London Exchange. There's 20 there. You'll have to wait for the rest.
Spent a long time waiting for the cavalry, mate. My comrades waited 3 days. The cavalry finally came. An officer joked that but he'd been delayed, playing a game of whist. I took out my Webley revolver and I shot him in the head. You will give me the full £50,000 in cash, or I will steal your white horse from under you.
How the fuck did a man like you get into a position of trust?
Man like me. I've seen the photographs.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you know what? It is interesting because, like they say, the working man, yeah, it's like they work all their time, all their week, grafting for the people at the top who don't do any work anymore. Like, obviously, they've worked their way up, but they sit there and just take all the benefits of all the hard workers underneath him. That's like this guy, you know. How have you managed to get yourself in a position of power? Mate, the guy's worked his way all the way up. You're just a privileged guy who just sits there letting everybody else below you do all the business. Tommy's fully involved in everything in his company, whether it's like, you know, the stock exchange, whether it's going around doing the business himself, killing people, fighting, you know, getting involved here in being an MPs and going to the House of Commons. You know what I mean? Like, he's fully involved. He's not a guy just sat in a high castle letting everybody else underneath him do all the business. He's there doing it himself. I love that, what he was doing, mate. The guy's like, hey, it's 20 grand, you know, the 30 will have to come another time. No, it won't, mate. The 30's coming on Monday, and if it's not, I'm going to expose you. So I do love what he just said there. I'm expecting, like, the pictures to be something to do with kids, which is deep. You know, they said that they killed that Chinese guy, didn't they? Because obviously he was a child trafficker or something, like, and the world's a better place without him there. I agree. To be honest, again, mate, you know, do anything with kids, you're a fucking tramp and deserve to be... Well, death's too kind to some people, like he was saying. Instead of getting killed, yeah, he deserves to get shot, get beat up, put away, and then done in again for the rest of his life.
He's been approached by an anarchist group in Walsall. He's setting up a meeting. And there's talk of a mass walkout of bus drivers, Nottingham and Derby. Don't worry about it. Tommy has a plan. He thinks that we can turn the collapse of the stock exchange to our advantage.
I'm told 2 more military contracts for vehicles and parts for the army in India are on their way to him.
I reckon he's a dad then. He was the one that brought her in, didn't he? The military guy last season.
You have one more appointment. You set it yourself. It's in the diary from last week. A journalist from the Times.
You'll remember me. Once in Small Heath, you were burning photographs of the king.
Oh, yeah? Do you remember?
I sent you a list of questions.
Yeah, I misplaced them.
Readers are beginning to want to know more about the men who represent them.
Mr. Shelby, as I said in my letter, 10 years ago I was a journalist on the Birmingham Evening Mail. And of course, working in that city, it was impossible not to know your name. So when I saw that you had been elected as a socialist...
You reflected on the fact that working people can indeed change their lives.
There was a Major Campbell. He was found dead. A member of your family was charged.
What is your Tory newspaper more afraid of? Is it evolution or revolution? What is it so troubles you that you would try to undermine me?
I am talking about specific events,
which I don't recall. I asked a colleague of mine to carry out some research.
Oh, here we go. It's interesting. The guy's come in, though, acting proper cocky, kind of. I don't know, with his questions.
Mr. Levitt enjoys walks in the park, sometimes alone, sometimes with other men. You're going to write this down.
He's not wrote anything else down.
Book.
Him knowing or not knowing, there's no relevance to what we're drinking. The baby's black. He's a bastard. And it's Birmingham. But you don't care, because the world has changed. She'll be the colour of a Hollywood Oscar.
What will Tommy say?
Tommy knows.
He's also seen that the world's big and round, and he says, so what?
If there were to be a snap election in this house today, I wouldn't win it, even if I were running against the devil himself. Did Arthur explain?
Said it's God's will, but you're not God.
Kid's just pissed at him in all episode. Right, interesting how we focused on this guy. Look how thin that lift is. Didn't actually expect that. Do you reckon it's a statement, that? I like the breathing there at the end. Do you know what's interesting, right? Is that guy come in to interview Tommy, and like, I thought he was a proper cocky guy. I don't know, not like... So when Tommy first went in to see Alfie, yeah, Alfie was cocky, but he was intimidating. Do you know what I mean? Like, it kind of felt like Alfie was a massive deal, i.e. like, even Tommy was a bit like taken aback, as in like it felt like Alfie was bigger / stronger than Tommy, so like it fit. Do you know what I mean? Like a personality totally fit the trait of like trying to take control, trying to like back Tommy down. But like this guy come in as a journalist, and like he was trying to, I don't know, like not manipulate, but he was saying stuff that would just anger Tommy, and like I don't know, like he was the big boy, but he wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like me going into the head of a gangster now and sitting down and like accusing him of stuff, and like I don't know, not that he got what he deserved. Like it was a bit ruthless there, getting killed at the end, but do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, the stance that he was trying to take, he was just way over his head, in my personal opinion. That was interesting that he's been killed. I don't know if Tommy's doing that to send a statement, but it's interesting. You know, we did see Michael at the start of the episode. He's got a new girlfriend, which I hope that she stays in the show because she's a sick actress in real life. And they're obviously coming back to Birmingham. Now, he was told by Tommy to sell, yeah, because he knew this New York Stock Exchange was going to be hit, and he didn't. He held, or he was just getting pissed and he just didn't do it. He forgot, and they've lost absolute dough. Now, obviously, that kid just said to Tommy before that Churchill lost 70k. How much did Tommy lose? To be honest, about 3 times in this episode, it was asked, how much have you lost? You know, whether it was to Ada, to Tommy, to Arthur. I reckon they've lost millions. Now 70 grand is a lot, yeah, and obviously in 1929 it's a lot, but we also heard that Tommy, I don't know, last season or the one before, transporting the armoured vehicles was like 2.5 million, the contract, and now they're getting a new one. So they've obviously received that money and they've put it somewhere. Now, in terms of, you know, Arthur's wife, she actually wants the best for Arthur, doesn't she? She's always kind of questioning the company, questioning Tommy. To be honest, it seems like she doesn't like Tommy. She's always kind of going against him and stuff, Linda. But I have to respect it as well, because she wants what's best, what she believes for her husband. And like, yes, Arthur is now director of the board, CEO or whatever it is, but Tommy's in charge. Whatever Tommy says, it goes. And like, basically, it's just a title for Arthur, isn't it? Like, but he hasn't got really any power. Now, he technically has got power because he's the person in charge and Tommy's not. So if he wanted to kick Tommy away, he could do, but he's not going to because Tommy's in charge. But it's interesting because she's saying, Linda, like, yeah, you're in this position, but what are you? Nothing really. You're just a person that's ahead of the table, while Tommy goes and be's an MP in London, and he comes back, and if anything happens to the Peaky Blinders and to the company, you're the person that'll be taken down, which it is. Definitely, that is true. But it's interesting that Tommy's obviously been in Parliament. He stood up, and there seems to be somebody that's took an interest into him. Can't remember his name now. It was an interesting name. And he's introduced himself, and obviously Tommy's just walked off. But I feel like he's going to play a bigger part into the season. We haven't seen many enemies, or we haven't even seen any enemies technically. But we've seen kind of like the layout of what's happening. I don't know if it's like the crash is what's going to affect them, and they're going to have to try and build the way up and maybe expand, and then it'll obviously cause new enemies and bring new people in. Who knows? But I thought it was an interesting episode. It was a crazy start, which I really enjoyed. Then we kind of died down a little bit and kind of like built the story into the season. So, you know, I can't wait to see the rest of it. Okay, and that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So Ada's pregnant, and she is, you know, she's pregnant with that guy, you know, the army person. He was the one that took her last season, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think he took her last season. He was the one that was hired kind of like by Tommy, because he wanted to kind of like make a, not like a public statement, but he wanted to everybody kind of like in Birmingham to see it. And then obviously they had a conversation, and obviously it's like friends with Tommy. Now it's interesting the conversation she was having with Polly at the end there, because I didn't even think like, yeah, she is going to have a mixed race kid, isn't she, technically, you know. And in society in 1929, probably looked down upon. That's probably why, like, Finn's friend, obviously, do you remember when he went into that pub and he said they didn't serve his kind, and then obviously they've come and retaliated, and but they ended up coming back, the Peaky Blinders, didn't they, and taking over that pub because of it. And Tommy's got a mate as well who served in France. You know, he's still part of it. Not seen him this season, but again, you don't see many mixed race people or you know, like black people in general in this show, do you really? And that is probably because back in 1929, you know, times was like well different to modern day, and it is going to be interesting that if she does keep the baby, like how people going to react to them, because like I say, modern day society is like massively changed. That guy acknowledged it in the boardroom, didn't he? He was like, wow, you know, it's really interesting to see like a company with so many females on the board. And if you think about it, There is, isn't there? I think there was more females than males. Now, obviously, in the present 2022, that should just be the standard. Whoever's the best for the role gets it. It doesn't matter what gender, what race you are. But obviously, back here, the times are totally different. So it is going to be interesting to see, obviously, how people react. Now, in terms of how Tommy's going to react when Michael gets back, that's going to be exciting to see, because obviously, like I said, he told him to sell and he didn't, and now they've lost heavily, mate. They've lost so much money. Now, it doesn't seem like Michael sold at all, so they've still got them stocks. That's what I was trying to say before. Like, yes, okay, they might have lost, but if he hasn't actually sold it, then they've still got it, and the dip's still there, but it could rise again. And you know what? It takes a brave man to buy in a dip, hoping that it's gonna, you know, inflate, so to speak. And then if it does, you're laughing. But again, like I said, they've lost a lot of money, and because he didn't listen, why does nobody listen? In terms of Charlie, in terms of obviously Michael, I'm gonna be excited to see that what Tom's breaking point gonna be, because if people are still not gonna be listening to him, I feel like he's gonna explode at one point. Like I say, it looks like somebody in Parliament is kind of like extended, I don't know, like a handout to kind of like be friends. He said that they've been watching him and like been taking an interest in him. We're not really seeing Jesse Eden in today's episode, but we have seen obviously the company kind of like not in turmoil, but trying to clutch at straws and bring money in here and there. Like he was saying, yeah, we invested a lot of money into the stock exchange, but that's why it's important for us to diversify the profile. And we're lucky that we still got money coming in from different avenues. Another one was obviously went in to get that 50 grand from that MP who said that he only had 20. Tommy was like, sack this, mate. He stood up, he said, on Monday you're going to give me the 50 grand. I'm going to release the you know, the pictures that we got from going to kill that Chinese guy, and it's going to be bad news for you. And then the guy's obviously like kicking off, moaning. But that's pretty standard. You can't stamp on people. You can't expect people to go and do your dirty work and then not pay up. Especially someone like Tommy, who's like, would you call him a gangster, so to speak? He's not going to let that slide. So I'm excited, obviously, to see how that one goes as well. So I thought it was an interesting first episode into the 5th season. I can't wait to see, obviously, who becomes like the main enemy or like the main full-on story and what we're trying to obviously push through. But thought it was a good introduction. So thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.